Good morning, everyone. Today I will be discussing the topic beta adrenergic signaling induces notch mediated salivary gland progenitor cell control. It was published in the journal Stem Cell Reports with an impact factor of 5.1. We want to discuss some terminologies related to this journal club before discussing it in detail. The first one is luminal intercalated duct cells, specialized cells lining the inner luminal surface of the smallest ducts of the salivary gland, involved in transporting and modifying saliva before it reaches the larger ducts. Notch signaling pathway, it is a cell-to-cell communication system that helps control how cells grow, specialize and interact, especially important for regulating stem and progenitor cell behavior. Salivary gland organoids, miniature lab-grown 3D structures made from salivary gland progenitor cells that mimic the structure and function of the real salivary glands used for research. Beta adrenergic signaling, it is a biological process where beta adrenergic receptors, proteins on cell surfaces, respond to stress hormones like adrenaline, influencing heart rate, gland activity, and cell growth. Mature salivary gland organoids, fully developed lab-grown salivary gland organoids containing functional secretory units, including acinar cells that produce saliva. Coming to the novelty, aims and objectives of the study, the novelty is it is the first study to clearly identify the luminal intercalated duct cells of the human parotid gland as a distinct progenitor cell population regulated by beta adrenergic signaling through the notch pathway. Demonstrate that the beta blocker used down-regulates notch signaling in these progenitor cells, potentially explaining persistent hyposalivation in some patients like taking beta blocker. Uses human salivary gland organoids to model beta adrenergic and notch pathway interactions, allowing controlled investigations of the progenitor cell proliferation and differentiation. Introduces the concept of beta adrenergic stimulation can prime SGOs for differentiation into mature secretory units, offering potential regenerative approaches for salivary gland dysfunction. Coming to the aims and objectives of the study, the aim was to investigate the role of the beta adrenergic signaling in controlling salivary gland progenitor cell dynamics, particularly in the context of beta blocker induced hyposalivation. The objective one was to compare salivary gland organoid formation efficiently between patients on beta blockers and healthy controls. Objective two was to assess the effect of the beta adrenergic agonist and beta blocker on SGO proliferation and notch pathway activation. Objective 3 was to map beta 1 adrenergic receptor expression in specific salivary gland cell types, especially luminal 1D cells. Objective 4 was to determine how beta adrenergic stimulation affects differentiation of the SJOs into mature secretory structures containing acinar cells. Objective 5 was to evaluate whether notch pathway activation is necessary for beta adrenergic induced proliferation and differentiation in SJOs. Materials and methodology, sample collection, parotid gland biopsies taken from healthy controls and from patients on beta blockers with dry mouth symptoms, all with informed consent and ethical approval. Organoid cultures, salivary gland progenitor cells isolated, embedded in matrigel grown in SGPC medium, treated with isoproterenol, metoprolol, JAG1 or DAPT. Organoid formation efficiency calculated over multiple passages. Differentiation assay, SJOT treated in self-renewal phase, then transferred to enhance SG medium to form mature SGOs with acinar-like structures efficiently quantified. Molecular and imaging analysis, RNA sequencing and qPCR for notch WNT pathway activity, immunostaining for ADRB1, keratin 7, LCN2, DLL1, Notch1, HES1, and NIC to map receptor and signaling protein expression. Statistical methods: Kruskal-Wallis, mixed effects ANOVA, and paired t-tests used for data analysis. Coming to the statistical analysis used, parameters compared were organoid formation efficiency compared between beta blocker patient samples versus healthy controls, control SJO versus those treated with ISO, MET or JAG1 across passages, proportion of the LCN2 and ICD cells compared between untreated SGOs, ISO treated SGOs and JAG1 treated SGOs. MSGO formation efficiency compared across the different pre-treatment and differentiation conditions. Notch score and gene expression compared between treatment groups to assess pathway activation. Statistical tests used was Kruskal-Wallis for non-parametric tests for multiple group comparisons between OFE across treatment groups and passages, mixed effects ANOVA for repeated measures data in organoid and MSGO formation experiments, paired t-test for matched control versus treated samples in Notch score and gene expression analysis. Outcomes: beta blocker patient biopsies had significantly lower primary SGO yield but recovered higher OFE after beta blocker washout compared to controls. ISO treatment significantly increased OFE. JAG1 treatment produced the highest proportion of the LCN2 and ICD plus cells, 42% compared to ISO 20% and control 6%. ISO pre-treatment followed by ISO during differentiation yielded significantly higher MSGO formation compared to control or ISO MET conditions. Results: low initial organoid yield in beta blocker patients. Primary SGOs cannot be grown to greater than 50 micrometer from beta blocker biopsies, but after 3 weeks, organoid formation efficiency recovered and even surpassed controls. Beta adrenergic stimulation boosted growth and notch activity, reduced notch signaling in beta blocker patients, proliferation of the luminal 1D-like cells, enhanced differentiation into mature SGOs. Strengths: use of human-derived models, novel cell type focus, comprehensive methodology, pathway-specific manipulations, regenerative potential insight. Limitation: patient medication confounders, sex distribution bias, limited sample size, in vitro model constraints. No long-term functional assessment was done. Whether study guidelines was followed or not. For checklist items: laboratory translational research standards, clear research question was clearly justified, defined exclusion and exclusion criteria was there, ethical approval and informed consent was present, description of the sample source and handling was done, control group analysis was done, randomization, blinding of the analysis, was not mentioned. Replication, statistical methods, data completeness reporting was done. Coming to the future directions, there can be therapeutic translation as targeted regenerative treatments for hyposalivation in conditions like beta blocker induced xerostomia and primary Sjogren's syndrome. In vivo validation, conduct animal and human pilot studies to confirm whether beta adrenergic notch activation can restore salivary flow and gland function long term. Targeted drug delivery, develop salivary gland specific delivery systems to activate progenitor niches without systemic side effects. Mechanistic studies investigate the interplay between beta adrenergic signaling and other pathways in regulating different salivary gland progenitor cell populations. Patient stratification, identify biomarkers or genetic signatures that predict which patients are at high risk of beta blocker related irreversible hyposalivation and would benefit most from pathway targeted therapies. Thank you.